Welcome to Off the Wall with Dr. Craig. This podcast is all about situations that occur in the areas of education, nutrition, and politics. It's a common sense approach that analyzes the crazy things that happen in our world. Dr. Craig also has you covered with specific information on education, careers, and business. So buckle up and join the conversation, because Dr. Craig is the high priest of the painful truth.
Hey. Okay, this week I'm talking about education. My background is education, 20 years teaching science. I like the kids. There's some things about it that I'm going to discuss that can be a problem. When I was in the business world, I thought, getting back into education, I don't have to fly any place. I don't put up with the corporate politics. Well, I got a big awakening because education is worse than the corporate politics. So, and I'll go over that. But this Linda McMahon, she's going to have a lot to do with really getting the education part. This thing of just giving them the money is not going to do it. There's so many problems. She might know about them, but there's a lot of parents that don't know about them. There's a lot of, I'd say, young parents that get a real, awakening when they get their kids into the school system, public school system. Hopefully, Linda McMahon will have a structure, a plan that she can deal with this. But I'm going over today what I think are the most important ones as we start out here. So I'm going to ask a question. All right. What is the most important, I got to take my glasses off, criteria for selecting a teacher? Now, what's probably going through your mind is they have to have a bunch of degrees. They have to have a GPA of, 4.0, 3.9, something like that. They have to have a bunch of references. The answer to that is they don't need any of that. They only need one thing, and I'm going to tell you what it is. First, I'm going to tell you that if a principal is looking for a coach, filling the position with the person that can coach basketball, football is the most important criteria. It's none of that other bullshit, and it is bullshit when you compare it to what the principal wants. Can you coach anything? I was applying for a job at a high school. There was a young lady there was also applying for the same position, and she got the position because she could coach women's basketball. I got a job later, but I'm telling you, that's what they look for. It's, can you coach an athletic sport? So that's things. So all this stuff, references, doesn't matter. If they need a coach and you can coach, tag, you're it. So that's the most important thing, isn't it? I mean, you think about it like, that's it? I mean, there's none of this other stuff, like can they teach, have references? No. Can you coach a sport? That goes up top here, all right? You're in the middle. If you have a few references, if you don't have any, you're down here. So good luck with that one. All right, next one. Besides the salary of the staff, what is the most important or the high priority and the most expensive part in the public school system? Let me see. You're going to answer the building? No. Are you going to answer technology? It depends. The most important is special ed. Okay, they have special ed teachers, and you need one special ed teacher for any of the students they have, like say if they have ADHD or dyslexia or anything like that, and they're in your classroom, a special ed teacher will come in because she has to help them out if they have dyslexia, if they don't understand the assignment. So she is in there with them. So let's take a look at a big school. You could have 20 or 30 special ed teachers. So you could have close to like $500,000 in some school districts of hiring special ed teachers. And they make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do and they keep track of everything. I mean, IP, a plan, all this crazy stuff. It's like, it's a lot of money. Does school district need it? Yes. But that's what puts the cost up per student, which is the FTE. So when you're looking at it, in some school districts, it's $10,000 per student to educate that student. Special ed is in the cost factor there with the budget, and that's why it's so expensive. So you can't get away from it. So you have the students in there, special ed, they're making sure they can do the work, they understand the assignments, and you're just, you have to deal with it. So that's an expense that a lot of people don't understand. Now, here's another one. I'm going to give you a true life. Now, when I tell you all this stuff, it's from not a second source. It's from what I've seen, heard, and had to deal with. I found out and went through that there are parents that want their students to be in the special ed. Why? Because they get free stuff and it costs a lot of money. They don't want to pay for the psychologist or the psychiatrist or whatever. They get free stuff. I've seen kids that actually practice on how to exhibit Asperger's or ADHD. Their parents make them practice this. So there's a lot of crap going on in schools that parents and other people, and probably some of the educational gurus, don't understand that they're there. Okay. So next one. What is the purpose of the social worker? Social worker also deals with special ed people, the principal, the teachers, and a lot of social workers are really big liberals. So they want to put as many people in special ed because even if they have a little bit of tendency to exhibit ADHD or dyslexia or anything, they want them in there. So as they do this, it ups the cost of the budget in the school system a lot. So sometimes you're not going to argue with them. They kind of like have a little bit authority over you, and you have to get the kids tests, this, that, and the whole thing. So there's those three things. So the three things are social workers. What's the key factor for a principal? Looking for a teacher. What do they have to have? If they need a softball coach, and that person can, they're a coach in softball, and they can be part of the team and bring them to the national title. They're going to hire that person, and it could be anything. Now, one thing that I missed is another cost factor is a stipend. So all these coaches in big schools, you could have 50, 60 coaches. They get paid extra. And I was at a school district where one teacher got 5 stipends. He was like not only coaching, but in FFA, all kinds of stuff, and they got a stipend. That's another factor that brings the cost up. So there's a lot of things. We didn't get into the fact of books or technology. Technology and everything is very expensive. So I wanted you to be aware of a few things that make it very expensive to have schools, especially in certain areas where there's high taxes. It's one you really have to deal with on that particular thing. So what we're doing tomorrow is I'm going to go over the technology part and how these school districts just buy technology like they're, buying spaghetti. They just, I got to have it, I got to have it, I got to have it. So that's what they do. So I'm going to have 1 p.m. Seems like a good time. I'm going to keep consistent time, and I'll let you know, plop one little video out, tells you what time when I'm going over. But I'm attacking, I shouldn't say attacking, but going over the education part because I'm tired of Zelensky and the Democrats and all this other stuff. It's, up to here with this crap. So hopefully that'll die down a little bit. And then when she gets in, McMahon gets in the education thing, she's going to have a lot to deal with. So she's right, 1 p.m.